Cassidy is finally giving us answers to one of hip hop's biggest mystery, which is what exactly happened in that hotel room when Fat Joe and Papoose had an all-out brawl in 2007. So back in 2007, Fat Joe and Papoose ended up in the same hotel room as Cassidy while they were beefing, and they really wasn't beefing, to be honest. Fat Joe had an issue with Remy Ma at the time. Their beef was really intense. She was dissing Fat Joe on the radio often. Fat Joe also had a beef with 50 Cent at the time. Their beef was pretty intense as well. Remy Ma was dating Papoose and was kind of also signed to Papoose a little bit at that time. And then Papoose was also 50 Cent right-hand man. So Fat Joe, I think at that time, just had an issue with Papoose because Papoose was associated with too many people he didn't like. This was before social media per se, but everything played out in the public because both Fat Joe and Papoose gave descriptive interviews detailing what took place that night, but they both have very different stories on exactly what happened. So because their stories are so different, obviously somebody is lying and somebody is telling the truth, but nobody else who was there that night had came forward besides these two for the last decade or so. Well, that's until the Cassidy interview this week detailing what exactly happened. From Papoose perspective, Fat Joe walked in, causing raucous, and he two-piece Fat Joe. But from Fat Joe's perspective, of course it's from Fat Joe's perspective, he had Papoose crying, shivering in fear, hiding behind tables. He sent a couple of Papoose friends to the hospital in critical condition. Fat Joe really sold this story, bruh.
You know what I mean? People already know who Papoose was before I punched him in his face, so it doesn't really make or break my career. But next time he'll think before he underestimates somebody. You know what I'm saying? As far as where it stands now, I don't really care. Like, it's up to him. I'm not thinking about him. He's not a threat to me. He's not the least bit intimidating. He's not a hot artist. He's trash. You know what I mean? So he's not really in my mind. Lyrically, he's not on my level. This is hip hop. Lyrically, I feel like I annihilated him on that track already. First verse, I always do that. I warm up. Second verse, I go for the juggler. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? 50 Cent office is across the street from Madison Square Garden. Fat Joe had a problem with 50 Cent. He likes to go around the problem, and for some reason he thought that he could come at me sideways, like I was going to be some kind of scapegoat. But I still told, like I'm supposed to. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We don't back down to nobody. I asked him, I gave him the opportunity to shoot me a fair one, to fight me one-on-one in front of 9 of his bodyguards, and he refused. He came to me, he asked me a question, do I have a problem? I responded, do you want to make it a problem? He asked me the same stupid question. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do you have a problem with me? Yeah, two-piece.
We got Fat Joe on the line.
Hello?
Jonesy, since when you know me to be a punk in your life?
No, I ain't call you a punk.
All right, this is what I'm hearing. Yo, Jonesy, you have never known Fat Joe to back down from anybody in the history of mankind. Papoose is a boy. You know they got hotel rooms, Envy, when you on the road, they got the little kitchen in there? Mm-hmm. He jumps over the wall and traps himself in the corner, right? So I go up in there, I say, yo, Papoose, do we have a problem, homie? He says, well, you want it to be a problem? At that point, he caught what we call the beats. Right? His man jumped in the way. His DJ, did he tell you his DJ is in the hospital still? His man jumps in the way, got two-piece Bloody Mary. His whole face is ripped up. Right? His man, he got some real good human shields. His other man, who's his best friend, his lip looked like an 18-wheeler tire when we was done with that boy. When they finally had enough, Papoose never threw a punch. He's crouched down. I felt so sorry for this boy, Miss Jones. I gave him the beats. I was telling him, you better respect me. This is the beats.
This was before Fat Joe ruined his good name and reputation on the internet. So people really believe Fat Joe. This was pretty believable. And Papoose and the idea of Papoose beating up Fat Joe was kind of unheard of. Papoose got hands, but Fat Joe at that time was Terror Squad Fat Joe. Fat Joe was a menace. Fat Joe was a menacing figure in hip-hop. Like, Fat Joe's lore wouldn't make people believe that Papoose did any of the thing. Think about the last time you dealt with a bully in school. Like, we're all grown men right now, and we're all adults, and we all got guns, so there's no such thing as a bully now, because, I mean, it's an even playing field. But think about the last time you dealt with a bully in grade school. Like, do you remember, like, your perception of him? Your perception of this bully probably was, this dude is indestructible. This is the toughest, biggest, baddest dude on earth. Yo, you couldn't even fathom the fact that this dude could lose a fight until he lost the fight and got punched in his mouth by somebody who wasn't scared of him, and then your entire view and perception of him changed. Well, we were still in the bully phase of the Fat Joe era. Fat Joe, the lore was, can't nobody deal with Fat Joe and his goons. So Papoose had an uphill battle trying to convince any or everyone that he actually gave Fat Joe a fight. So Papoose pretty much lost the battle of public perception at that point. Now, Cassidy did an interview today where he is responding. He just revealing exactly what happened in that hotel room. And I'll be real, if I had to choose between whose story is more accurate, Fat Joe or Papoose, I'll probably say Papoose' story is a tad bit more accurate.
So later on when I'm in my room, playing cards, smoking, everybody around, chilling, whatever, so I get a call, and it's Papoose. I'm like, yo, boy, what's up? I'm like, yo, we in room such and such and such. You smoke? He like, nah, I don't smoke, but some of my homies do and all this. I'm like, well, we burning it down. We out here, girls up here, all this shit. Come through here, like, I mean, we here, whatever. He like, all right, bro, I don't remember the exact, but we hang up, finish playing John. 30 minutes later, 20 minutes, whatever it was, knock at the door. So my nigga holding me down, he go to the door, he look out, he like, yo, it's Pat, is that bull Papoose and some of his niggas. I'm like, all right, let him in. So open the door, it's Papoose and like 5 of his homies.
Yeah, okay.
DJ, 5 of his niggas and shit. So they all come in, we chilling, he playing his music, listening to his tape that he was working on at the time, and we vibing. It was cool, it was chilling. Then like after his tape play, I don't know how many minutes, cause I don't know, we smoking, we chilling, but then there's another door, knock. My nigga go to the door. Yo, it's Fat Joe. It's Fat Joe at the door. So I'm like, Fat Joe, the rapper Fat Joe? He's like, yeah, nigga, Fat Joe.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, let him in.
Yeah.
Like I told you.
And you was cool with Fat Joe at that time.
I just told you that in the beginning. Like, I fuck with Fat Joe.
Right,
I don't got no problems.
Right.
And I don't know what's going on with
him and Pap at all.
Remy, because I'm thinking Remy down with Fat Joe.
Right,
I don't
right.
know, like, this mess with Remy and this a problem with Fat Joe.
One of the things that stood out to me was when Cassidy and Papoose is chilling, Cassidy says the homie tells Cassidy in front of everybody, in front of Papoose as well, yo, Fat Joe at the door. Papoose didn't offer no resistance. Papoose didn't say, nah, don't let him in. Nah, chill, don't. Nah, for the most part, the way Cassidy is telling the story, Papoose kind of stayed quiet. Kind of like, you feel like, it's whatever. Usually the person who's the calmest is somebody who knows they probably have leverage in the situation. And that leverage probably comes with either Papoose had more people with him than Fat Joe did, or Papoose knows his hands works and Fat Joe's hand don't work. But either way, Papoose stayed quiet, didn't really offer any objection to letting Fat Joe in, even though he knew that him and Fat Joe had some issues. And Fat Joe walked in straight wilding like a character out of a movie.
And all this shit, I ain't put that shit together like that. I don't know.
Right.
Knock on my like, yo, ain't like he just barged in. My like, yo, this Fat Joe, what you want me to do? I'm like, Fat Joe, let him in. Like, that's my, I don't know. I'm not thinking like it's an issue or something.
Right.
So then, I mean, Fat Joe come in. Yo, do we got a problem here? So I'm thinking he playing like I come in and just be playing and shit. So I'm like, I start smiling and shit. And he like, yo, do we got a problem, man? He said the second time. So when he said like that and not look at me, he ain't make eye contact with me. So I'm like, so now it's getting a little weird. So now I stand up. Like we on the couch. See Papoose right here next to me on the couch. And I'm on the couch. So when he do that, I'm like, I stand up like and then he say it again. But he like coming towards us, but looking at Papoose. Dude, we got a problem. And he looking at Papoose, and then Papoose looking like. But when they start going through that, that's when my see that is between Fat Joe and Papoose. So I got money and jewelry on the table. So my start grabbing my shit. They grab me and pull me to the next room.
Fat Joe must have thought he's exactly who Al Capone thought he was. But Fat Joe walking in like a mafia boss. Do we have a problem? Oh, come on, man. And if I'm Papoose, I look to my right and I see Cassidy and his homies getting their jewelry and getting their stuff out the room and trying to move to the next room and leave me. Man, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I was set up. This is a back door. And because I would have thought it was a backdoor, I would have started socking on Cassidy right there. Nah, hold on, bro. You not just leaving. Nah, hold on, bro. Nah, you brawling too. You brawling too. Now, apparently me and Papoose think alike because I do remember at that particular time there were rumors that Cassidy did indeed backdoor Papoose, but Cassidy always denied it. And Cassidy and Papoose at some point made amends and became cool again. But it's from this point forward, because I feel like both Papoose and Fat Joe told a story in similar fashions like this. Because even Papoose mentioned Fat Joe came in screaming, "Do we have a problem?" Fat Joe also confirmed this. Now, it's from this point forward of the story that becomes different, depending on who you ask.
And when we walking out, that's when the fight break out between them. But like I said, Papoose had with him. It wasn't like he was by himself.
Right.
He ran down on him. And all I remember seeing is like Fat Joe and Macho. Like, you know what I mean?
Fat Joe's by himself or with a couple
he was
people?
with Macho, like two, but I don't, or maybe one more, maybe three the most.
Okay.
I don't really remember.
You know, Fat Joe tells the story. He had 100.
Papoose had more with him than Fat Joe had with him.
Okay.
So when we left out, it was like a big scuffle, the whole shit, and the whole shit went down.
Okay.
But my issue was the next, like,
but you was out of there before the scuffle even happened.
I was in the next room because that was my room, and I had the room next door.
Oh, okay, so you had two rooms.
I want to stand there and let them, like, I don't know if they about to shoot. I don't even know what it's over. I don't even know what's going on. It's just, first I stand up to make sure, like, what's up with me? Then once Nancy is not with me, we start grabbing our shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But afterwards, it came to me. Papoose came in my room the next door and told me what happened, and I went and sent my to get Fat Joe back.
Okay.
Like, because it was an issue. He was missing some shit.
Okay.
So I sent Fat Joe, my to get Fat Joe, and Fat Joe came back. Fat Joe ain't know that was my room.
Okay.
He just seen us in there. He thought it could have been his room. He ain't know it was my room, and he was violating like that.
Okay.
But he came back down to talk to them, and they was talking out in the hall in front of my room in the hall. So they talked after the...
So even after the fight, they still was able to talk?
Yeah, they talked again, and Papoose wanted his shit. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, bro, I don't even give a fuck about all them small details. It was a misunderstanding. Papoose signed with Rim. Rim was talking crazy about Fat Joe on the radio, and that's how the whole shit went down and all that.
We got to read between the lines. I think both Papoose and Fat Joe had some cap to their story. Papoose claiming Fat Joe had 9 security guards. Cassidy is saying Fat Joe didn't have 9 bodyguards or 9 security guards. That Papoose actually had more dudes than Fat Joe. So Fat Joe had about, 3 dudes with him, according to Cassidy. Papoose had about 5 with him. So it wasn't that large of a number, unless Fat Joe had some dudes outside the hotel room holding guard. But nonetheless, though, the brawl happens. Now, if the brawl happened exactly how Fat Joe said it happened, I don't see the series of events that took place afterwards happening. If Fat Joe is claiming that he had Papoose under the table, scared and shivering, and as he was whooping on Papoose, he was telling Papoose, "Take that, you gonna respect me. You gonna respect me. Take that, you gonna respect me." I don't see that being a thing. Because if that happened and Papoose mans went to the hospital and Papoose got beat up so bad he was under the table shivering, getting spanked on, I don't see Papoose staying after the fact to holler at Cassidy next door. If that happened if it was as bad as Fat Joe described, you're getting out of Dodge as quick as possible. You are leaving. Bro, you're not staying. Bro, these dudes just put up on you and spanked you and your homies this bad. You're not staying. You leaving. The fact that Papoose stayed and ain't go nowhere, but Fat Joe left, that tells me everything that I need to know personally, right? I don't think that there was a clear-cut winner here. I don't feel like Papoose and them just absolutely spanked Fat Joe. I feel like it was a fight. I don't feel like Fat Joe got the best of Papoose as he claims. But because this was an era with no cell phones, no nothing, and they both could just very well say whatever, I feel like they both kind of told some cap, but I think Fat Joe capped the most. Fat Joe, to me, added extras on it that ain't need to be there. Now, Cassidy addresses the backdoor accusations and why him setting up Papoose makes no sense.
But regardless, it's just the next day I just feel like my name was in it. Like
Right.
I set Pep up.
Got you.
And
Yeah.
I did this and
Right.
I'm like, yo, man, like we not gonna do that. Like whatever happened, but I'm not gonna set you up. I don't got no problems with just my first time meeting you, Papoose. Why would I set you up? I don't got no issues with you.
Right.
And if I do set somebody up, it's never gonna be Fat Joe and Macho. Not saying they can't handle themselves, but they not mine. I wouldn't set you up with them. Like why would Terror Squad be running in there if I set you up?
Right.
Like if I set you up, it's gonna be different running in there.
Right.
It's gonna be a different scenario. What are you talking about? Like what are you talking about? So that was the issue with me, like, you know what I'm saying, with that whole shit. But we got that cleared up. We did songs, we cool after that, everything is cool.
So after hearing Cassidy's side of things, man, what do you guys think happened that night? Who do you guys think got the best of who? Okay, are you guys believing Fat Joe that he sent multiple of Papoose friends to the hospital in critical condition and had Papoose under the table shivering in fear? Let me know in the comment section, okay? All right, and if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here somewhere on my screen. Here, or here, or here, or here on my screen to find out how this Akash situation has gotten 1,000% worse after this recent update. You don't want to miss it. And if you want to do YouTube and want to make your first $10,000 a month, I got a full ebook description, step-by-step on how to do that and how to grow on YouTube really fast. I'm going to see you guys in this video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.